Hello, everybody. We are Team Code SARS. This is our final retrospective. So we're quickly going to be introducing ourselves. My name is Farham Kademi,
Hi, I'm Clive Lewis.
I'm Sharon D'Souza.
I'm Dylan.
I'm Dhruv Joshi.
I'm Ranma.
Hello, I'm Ayla.
and with that, we can begin the meeting. So, what we're gonna do, as always, quickly just go over the things that went well during the sprint, and we can even do a general one over all the sprints that went well, and also the things that we could possibly improve for future projects. So, with that, does anybody like to go first?
Well, I mean, after we almost completed 4 sprints now, right? We are all familiar with the technology, and I guess what really went well was that we actually understood what is happening around. But to the contrary of the point I said, we also need to be aware of the committing techniques that we are going forward with. Because at this point, for example, the game session page, right? Multiple people are working on the same code. So instead of having a feature branch, we should maybe now adopt to a sandbox development QA and production branch. That way, even if multiple people are working on the same script, we would still have consistency all around the project and nothing would break.
Yeah. And
Yeah, to
to
add on that,
okay.
especially need to be aware of more committing techniques.
Right.
I think we should be aware to not remove other people's code while committing work. So don't go back on any of the features we have worked on sprint 0, 1, 2. Um, Other thing is if be aware of the libraries that I think we have talked about this in a previous retrospective, but be aware of the libraries that have been used. So you don't have to install duplicate libraries such as I think in the front end we're using fetch, but I think someone installed Axios in addition, which I think is a duplicate requirement. So, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dylan, I
keeping a
would like to
standard like in the use of like the code is definitely a main thing.
uh,
Like,
I would like to add that the reason that we added Axios is because of the file transfer system between the front end and the back end for text to speech and speech to text scenario. Because Axios just provides a better interface and just gives us a better approach to it, if that makes sense.
right.
I think we did well for the most part on the code. With for future projects, what I think one of the things we could do is because there was a lot of talk about using standard practices or best practices while coding, we could kind of do a little meeting before to make sure or kind of to discuss that how the components or how stuff should be designed so everyone is on the same page, have the conversation about best practices beforehand, and that way everyone knows what to follow.
That makes sense.
Yeah, one thing I would like to just point out in terms of what went well is I think we gave a really good ratio of what we committed for, and I think we met most of the criteria, but there was still something that we could have done, which just feels like it was the right ratio in terms of the amount of stories we committed to. So yeah.
Something that I wanted to mention that went well this sprint is the frequent stand-ups that we did. I think we did well on those that help us keep track of each other's work and also help if any of us were stuck at something.
Oh, sorry, from my side, I got cut off for a second. Can you just repeat?
Yeah, she mentioned frequent stand-ups was a good thing.
Yeah,
Frequent
frequent
stand-ups.
Yeah,
Okay.
stand-ups.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would like to add that this time everything went well and within the time frame which we had committed, and everything was committed before the code phrase. So that was what went well. And it was really easy because we had frequent user stories to be done this time. I think that went well.
Right.
Another thing I want to add on what went well is I think at least from my side, the peer programming side of it was really good. I would like to shout out Faram in this case. Like, I don't think without him, I would be able to finish the multiplayer stuff.
Anytime, anytime. What I would like to add is for the good part. that what I think went well was even though we had a lot of documentations, we had a lot of we have to write a lot of deployment manual and installation, all their individual reports, plus the fact that we're doing other commitments outside of the university, we still managed to finish everything and kind of have a solid application.
Mm.
And one thing I would say we could improve, even though we did have stand up, uh, we need to work on reaching out to each other more. Because like asking for help is good. Is it's gonna
Yeah,
help each other a lot.
it is definitely good because in the last sprint, like I would like to share my experience that I reached out to you and to learn about the text to speech part.
Mm.
Even though we did not went through with the implementation of it in the last sprint, but it was still a good help to, have back of my pocket.
Yeah, multiple brains on one idea is always better.
Always good, yeah, always good. But I still feel that we should currently, like after this sprint, move forward with uh, separate implementation or maybe completely revamping the implementation of the feature branches that we approach it. Like instead of having individual features for individual branches, we could just have a dev queue and broad pipeline where whoever is responsible for the story is responsible for pushing their own feature up to the QA branch. That way, everyone is aware of what they are doing, even though they are working on the same script. And at the same time, this would ensure that merging from QA to prod would be a breeze, if that makes sense.
No, I didn't get it though. Isn't that the same as feature branches?
So, in feature branches, what currently we are dealing with right now is people making individual changes in different files or the same files that they are working on.
Mm.
Now, let us take my own example that I made some changes with the speech to text part, and which actually overrided your changes that you had done in the original game session.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if this was a dev QA and prod branch, what that would enable me to do is that ensure that each and every feature is present in QA, including the feature that you already wrote. Now, if we have
But
separate feature branches, it would be hard to manage if the same function has been overwritten by multiple people.
so how does the QA branch support this?
So QA branch is basically a branch where we ensure that the production line is replicated down there.
Mhm.
Okay, so but that's been done with develop branch, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
So
similar.
the develop branch, what the theory for the develop branch is that you experiment and play around with it, apart from having real production values. So now let's say that if I had a develop branch for the text to speech part, right?
Mm.
I would be ensuring that if I am merging that develop branch to QA branch,
Mm.
the difference would be clearly visible for me that I am overriding a function. But if we are looking at feature branches, right, I am
Mm.
just committing that to my own branch,
I
which I pulled from develop.
No, I feel like it'll cause the same
No,
problem.
no, no, no. So, Dylan, I think the point he's trying to make is that we are currently treating the develop as the prod branch.
No, the
What he's
main is the
saying,
prod branch.
yeah, I know main is the prod branch, but we're currently treating it because we are waiting till the code freeze for the merging. What he's saying is that if there was a develop branch, QA branch, and a prod branch, people would be actually merging by themselves in the develop branch while you are also doing it. So if you
No,
have
no,
already merged something,
this
then I
no
would
one was
also.
stopping anyone from merging to the develop branch, by
Oh,
the way.
I was not aware about that. I thought
Yeah.
it was kept in
The
terms
develop
of
branch is
waiting
not
till.
frozen for anyone. Once you're done
Okay.
with your work,
Yeah.
according to Git flow, you're supposed to merge it to
Okay.
develop
So
branch.
I think there's where the confusion came
Hmm.
from. Because even
Yeah, I guess so.
I was of the
Yeah.
idea that I'm not supposed to
Same.
merge till the code freeze. There's where probably there was a mix up. But yeah, okay, it makes sense. I think that's one thing you
And
got
this
clear.
entire mix-up would go away if we have
Hmm.
the sandbox dev QA and prod branch
Mm. No, we
application at
definitely
all.
need those branches too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very thorough, very
let's do Git
good
flow.
one.
But yeah, I think that's all from me.
So, does anybody have any other things that went well or other things that we could improve on for the future?
I think I'm good. I said my piece and I agree with the rest. So I think everything else went good pretty much this sprint.
Okay, so for the last time, and then we can do one confidence test to make sure everybody's confidence with concluding with this meeting. So real quick, one, two, three. And I think with that, we can conclude our final retrospective. It was great working with you guys. See you in the presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. I think this is when you stop recording.